Good morning, everybody. So today we got a couple of projects that we got to get taken care of. So the first thing here, you can see we're feeding the calves and the weld here broke. So we need to put that guy on, and this guy right here is going to be our welder for today. And then we have some guardrail over there that has come off, so we need to go touch that up. And then there's some pieces over here that we need to put back. The other thing we're gonna look at, but unless it becomes super easy to do, we're not gonna do it today, is put some bunks up here. So there's some bunks on this corral over here, and there used to be some here, and we're gonna look at putting them back. And the reason is because my smaller calves, which are going to be my heifer calves, some of them are ducking out through this hole here. It's a pretty good size hole for them to get out. With that bunk sitting there, they wouldn't be able to get out. So it's not a huge problem. I get one calf out a day. They don't really go anywhere, so it's not a big deal. The other thing we're working on today is Chelsea and Temperance are looking at trying to fix and figure out why the other half of our electric fence is not working. We are fairly confident that it's grounding out somewhere. I suspect maybe it's one of the insulators is grounding out. And so, because we're dropping half voltage right at the splice, but when the splice is taken off, both lines independently produce 7,000 volts. So we still can't use that part of the field, and I'd really like to at least graze that piece of it down a little bit. So she's working on that. I'm gonna take some footage of me fixing our water lines on that project I started back in July. That'll be a separate video, but we're gonna work on that. So be sure to go ahead and check out that video. And then the last thing we're gonna look at doing today is we've been utilizing this feeder here. We're just dumping about a half a bale in it. But the welds have broke. They were broken before we started using it. So I just tied it up with this rope, and I'm gonna have my expert welder over here weld this sucker back up. So that is the plan for today, and we are trying to beat the rain. We got rain coming this afternoon, which is going to be really nice because I really need these brands to start peeling. Some of them have started peeling, but we need to get some more of them peeling off. So it'd be nice to get a little water on them and hurry that process up a little bit. Tentatively, just an update on the calves. We're looking at shipping these guys the middle of January, which is 5 weeks away. So it's quite impressive how fast they've grown. They've done really well. So appreciate y'all watching, and we will get started. So we just put a new battery in this guy. That way I don't have to jump start it every time, because that was becoming a real pain in the butt to do that. Come on, baby. Maybe it needs a little ether. It's cold out. Let's try this again. Here we go. Get our ground up. Uh-oh. It's not warmed up yet. It is cold out here. Just in case you all have never seen steaming piles of poop, there you go. It's a real thing. All right, let me get Henry set up here. Go. All right, so here's what we ended up with down there. I couldn't film all of it because I needed to help Henry. He needed another set of hands. So we did it this way because we couldn't get this, the bars are bent, and so we just put some supports in there. So Henry, give it the test. All right.
I don't think that's coming off.
I think we're ready to go put a bale of hay in it, or half a bale. So now we're gonna take the welder and Henry and the tractor and the feeder and all that, and we're gonna go to the other side of the corral because there's some pipe laying on the ground over there that we gotta go take care of. And so we're gonna go do that.
Big fat sausage cat. You are a very good looking cat. Hello.
All right, so we got that first chunk done. So now it is time to go into lunch. We got the welder moved over to the new spot. Henry and I have a game plan on how we're going to be able to tackle this, but it's lunchtime. We are both hungry and we gotta go see what those girls are up to. Okay, so we're back from lunch and here's what we're going to work on this side of the corrals. So we need to weld that piece back on because baling wire doesn't cut it. So basically this whole bottom rod needs to go and get tacked back on. And then this gate thing here, or panel, was sitting right here. And we believe what the previous owners were starting to do was to put a drinker probably right here. That way they could put cattle over here as well, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna just take a bar and weld it across here, plug up that hole, and that should be good enough. So we're gonna do that. And then something real quick we're gonna do is we're gonna create a little notch right here so I can hold the chaining, because I don't like that. So we'll just create a little notch there. Henry and I were talking about on another project is moving this red gate over just a little bit. We believe this was the original post that it was on, and I don't know why they decided to do what they did, but when that gate comes out, there's a gap from here to here about 18 inches. And so we need to move the gate back over to this post and then add an extension to that gate. And then this gate is also sagging because this pipe is not holding it anymore. But that's for another time and another project. There's a top rail that's missing way down there, so we got to add that back on. We'll do that later. And then the last thing that we're going to do on the welding side of it today is this bar right here has fallen down, and so we need to put it back on the bottom there and just tack it all the way down that way. So that should take care of that. So we're going to do that. We got to run the torch a little bit because we got to cut that bar to plug the hole. But one thing I am going to try is a time lapse, and we're going to see how that goes. All right, so we got that corner done, this little brace here, Pete, done, these two fused back together. So now we just got to get the measurement for this bar, go up, get a torch, cut it, and then this chunk of corral will be done. We got one more little chunk to do. So Henry, if you want to grab the tape measure right here. Tell me what it is. Actually, I'm going to tell you what it is. Ready? Yep. So we're looking at 97. We'll make it 97.5. Henry's gonna cut the notch. Ground. If I can get him a good ground. Try it again.
There we go.
Little deeper. Perfect though. Just a little deeper. Not so wide. Cool. Let's try it. Why don't you come down just a touch deeper, but just right here. Don't make it any wider. Just, yep.
How's that?
Perfect. That's good. I think that'll hold the chain a lot better. Boom. That's what we want. All right, we gotta move the welder over to that last chunk over there, put that bottom rail on, and then we're done with the corral project for a little bit. Gotta lift it up if you can. Okay. Turn it down.
Yeah, turn it down.
Yeah, you gonna do this one, then we'll tack it. This one, and then we'll tack it.
Okay.
Okay, well, Henry did a good job. Let me turn you around and show you. He got the bottom bar on. He got the hog panel tacked back on. He got the gate to where we could latch it without having to lift it up because the gate sagged just a little bit. So now it functions the way it's supposed to. So, got a lot done today. It took a little bit longer than I thought, which always happens. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get to the electric fence today because the rain is starting to fill in over here, and we got to go cut a barrel for finish our water project. So we're going to go work on that, and if it's still not raining after we're done with the barrel project, we'll see how we're feeling. And then we'll go mess with that fence. We still got a lot of work on the corrals to do.